Hey guys, and welcome to Mondays with Dr. Crystal, Christmas edition. So by the time I post this video, it will be Christmas Eve. So I thought maybe we would get a little festive today. How about we watch some Christmas movies? So since becoming a doctor, watching movies where people get hurt has become very traumatizing to me. I used to be able to watch with everybody else and laugh when somebody falls and smacks their head, but it's a totally different story after you know what can happen. But anyways, let's get started. All right, so we'll jump right in. This first one is a classic.
Oh my God, I shot my eye out.
You'll shoot your eye out, kid.
Poor Ralphie. Dude was this close to actually shooting his eye out. So in this movie, Ralphie is very, very lucky. So there's a reason when you watch sports on TV, anyone who actually wears glasses instead of contacts while they're playing, they have those thick plastic goggles. And that's because we don't want anything like glass that's breakable and can turn into shards near your eyeball. Now, I don't know how much you guys know about eyeballs, but they're not solid. They're actually spheres full of goo. So if something comes along and pokes the eyeball, it can actually let that goo out, which is not good. That's a huge medical emergency. So Mr. Ralphie here is lucky that none of the shards of his glasses actually got into his eye. Aside from the glass, he's lucky that that BB didn't hit him just straight in the eye, because there are plenty of cases, and you can read them on the internet, of people being blinded by BB guns. So our guy Ralphie here, he got very lucky. All he ended up with per the movie was just a little bruise there, and he got to slap some ice on it, and then he lied and said an icicle hit him. All right, so the next one is from Home Alone 2. As you guys probably know, these movies are full of booby traps, and we can probably do 10 videos about everything that happens in the Home Alone movies, but we'll just do one right now. Guys, this is awful. So Kevin is standing at the top of like a 3-story building throwing literally concrete bricks down at this dude. I mean, I don't really blame him. These guys are trying to infiltrate his house, but still, that looked rough. So first of all, I don't think this guy would be talking even after taking just 1 brick, and I think he took like 4 in this clip. At the very least, I would be concerned for concussion in this guy, but with the mechanism of injury, I'd also be concerned for a skull fracture, and I'd also want to look for something like a brain bleed. This guy needs to go to the hospital. Next up, we have our old pal, the Grinch.
Excuse me.
Seriously though, do we have to always go with head trauma? Haven't these guys heard of the danger of concussions? So watching this scene makes me think of 2 things. 1, if he walks away without a concussion, it's a dang miracle. But honestly, I don't really know what the Grinch is. I mean, he's clearly not human, but I'm assuming he has a brain and can therefore get concussions. We know he has a heart because it grows multiple sizes later in the movie. Anyways, second of all, I'm worried about an eardrum rupture. He has this symbol hitting the sides of his head. I'm assuming that can kind of act like if someone like slaps you right on the ear, it can create the pressure to rupture your eardrum. And also, acoustic trauma from that loud noise right near his ear is another thing that could rupture his eardrum. So I'm worried about our poor Grinch's hearing here. Luckily, later in the movie, he seems to be doing fine, so somehow he escaped the situation unscathed. If you thought you were gonna make it through this video without seeing Buddy the Elf, you were sorely mistaken, my friend.
Sorry.
So after being hit, Buddy just pops right up, so I don't think he's hurt. But if I just watched the injury and didn't see what happened after, I would really worry about his knees. So he gets hit almost right at knee level. He's a pretty tall elf, so the car comes right up to his knee. and kind of pushes it sideways. So seeing an injury like that, I would expect a valgus injury to the knee. So valgus is if you've ever seen somebody who's knock knees and they kind of are bent in like that. When a knee gets forced in that way, we call that a valgus motion. So on the medial side of the knee, you have the MCL, which stands for medial collateral ligament, and that's the main supporter on the inside of the knee. So when his knee gets forced medially from the outside, I worry about injury to his MCL. After this scene though, he runs off to go find his dad. He doesn't seem to be in pain, so I think Buddy's MCL is fine. Thank you guys for watching today. I hope you all have a very happy holidays. If you enjoyed the video today, don't forget to like and subscribe, and maybe even ring that little bell since it is Christmas time. I'll see you guys next Monday.